So without any further delay, I'd like to introduce for our first presenter, Mr. Alton Bump Hadley.
Good evening. I recognize a lot of you, it's just that I can't remember your names. So if I don't speak, please speak back. It gives me honor to speak on behalf of Lawrence Bud Lyford, Brewer High School, class of 1941. Bud was coached by legendary coach Dana Doggett. Bud was an outstanding three-sport athlete at Brewer High School. He was the first team All-Maine football player from Brewer. He was a bruising fullback and a crushing linebacker. Second leading scorer in the state of Maine as a senior. In basketball, he was a speedy guard and was the only sophomore to make the team as a senior. He was co-captain as a junior, captain as a senior. Became later in life one of the best basketball officials in Eastern Maine. And you know what I think of striped shirts. He was among the best baseball players in Eastern Maine as a catcher and a pitcher. Played semi-pro in the Eastern Maine League following World War II. He was named Brewer High School's most outstanding male athlete in 1941. He then attended the University of Maine. As a freshman football player, he teamed with opponent Windy Work of Bangor. And they formed the TD Twins. He was selected All-Maine in 1942 and also was a catcher on the baseball team. In 1943, World War II had begun, and Bud served his country from 1943 to 1946. In 1944, Bud was wounded during action in Germany and was awarded the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star. Following the war, Bud continued to play semi-pro baseball, became the owner and operator of Thompson Lyford Hardware for 40 years. He sponsored Little League teams, supported Farm League, PAL, basketball, and Pop Warner football. He was a great supporter of Brewer High School sports and their facilities, and was the go-to guy for maintenance of the Doyle Field playing surface. Bud was the chair for Brewer Parks and Recreation and a working board member of the Boosters Club. Bud and wife Jean were named Brewer Citizens of the Year in 2009. Unfortunately, Bud passed away April 5th, 2014, and Brewer Sports will forever miss him. From a personal point of view, Bud Lyford, to me, served as a hero, a mentor, and a friend. When I graduated from high school, he gave me a job and said I could work there as long as I wanted to while in college. And I did for the next 6 years. 4 years as a University of Maine student, 1 year after graduate school at the University of Massachusetts, and 1 year when I became the football coach and teacher here at Brewer High School. He made work for me. He provided me with the opportunity to live on campus during my freshman year, which I hadn't planned to do. He felt that it was important. He was responsible for helping finance my first automobile. As an employee, he used to give extra Christmas bonuses. The first Christmas bonus I got equaled an engagement ring that has lasted 55 years. At some point in time, I went to St. Andrews to play golf. Not that St. Andrews, the other one, Canada. And I lost my 1961 Yankee Conference Championship ring that I had earned as a sophomore. That Christmas, guess what I found in my sock? A replacement. But it was also very supportive. He was a director at the Bangor Savings and Loan Association on Main Street in Bangor for many years. He assisted me in financing my first home. And when my mother-in-law was quite ill and we had some children of our own and we needed to take in her and my sister-in-law, Bud assisted in finding financing through Bangor Savings and Loan in 3 days, closing. That doesn't happen today. It has taken me a long time to take the opportunity to thank him for all that he did for me and for my family. And that, I believe, is the thing that brought me here this evening, was to have the opportunity to say thank you to Bud Lyford and to recommend and nominate and bring him into an induction into the Hall of Fame at Brewer High School. Receiving his honor this evening, our wife Jean, daughter Susan, and son Peter. I have 5 children in Colorado College, and all of them attended and got their first beginning with education at the Jack and Jill Nursery School. And they used to come home, when I got home from work, it was always, "Daddy, Mr. Bud came to visit us today." That was the highlight of their day. That was the thing that they really enjoyed, was when Bud came to Jean's class. And I don't know what he did with them, but they sure were happy. Well, that's good. Thank you.
First, I want to thank everybody for inviting me up here and to see everybody that I haven't seen for years and years. They were little children when I saw them, about like this, but now they're way up here. Hard to see them. Bud just loved football, but that was his favorite one, was football. He played basketball and every sport that was available, he played. And he and Wendy Work had a wonderful relationship. Wendy played for Bangor, and he was an outstanding player, great player. So they had this thing going in high school that they were fighting against each other. So when they graduated, they both went to the University of Maine, and they had got together and they were playing together then. So somebody came up with the thought, well, we'll call them the Touchdown Twins. And so they assumed the name of the Touchdown Twins when they played together. And they both made University of Maine, they both made All-Maine teams for the sing. So Susan says I have to quiet down. But I just love to see all the new people that I had when you were little, and now I'm getting the grandchildren. See, so it's wonderful to see it. And thank you for inviting me, and the committee worked very hard, I know they did, to pull off something like this as large as this. So thank you again, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Father always said, hook them off the stage. I would, however, like to thank the committee for their support of my father's nomination. It really does ensure that his sports legacy is going to endure. And also, as a family, we are very proud of him. But I will tell you that he would be very humble. Thank you all.